And welcome to episode 73 of Ripping the Rack podcast. We are the longest running weekly episodic podcast regarding Candlepin Bowling on the interwebs today.
The interwebs.
And yesterday.
I love
and
that
yesterday.
word. Yesterday.
And tomorrow.
Too. Yes.
I
It's
am
your
one
kids,
of your
Marty.
I am one of your hosts. My name is Tim. With me today is let's just get the elephant the elephant in the room out of the way.
Yes.
There is no King of the North. Thank God we can actually have a good show this week.
Yeah, we'll actually get some discussion.
He's in the Tower of Fredericton. Would be the Canadian version of the Tower of London? The Tower of Fredericton?
Tower of Fredericton.
Possibly.
Oh, who knows?
Possibly.
I'm in a good mood, guys, so we're gonna have a fun show tonight. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So with me today is the King of the South, Mackie Pins.
I'll take that one, absolutely. But we don't have to say too much because it sounds too much like King of the North, and I don't want to be in the same group as Calvin. Like, not really.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's bad enough he told me I was the Trevor Smith of the United States. I don't want to be the King of the South. They're like, nah.
Yeah, because even in America, being the King of the South is like being the coolest redneck in the trailer park. Right? King of the South.
I'll take the king. I'll take the King of the projects.
All right, King. We got the King of the bricks. We got King of the bricks. Mackie Pins. Mackie, how you doing, buddy?
King of the
Not
Dunks.
bad, fellas. Good to be
Lord
back.
of
Sorry, I
Dunks.
missed last week. We had a little family incident
no
going
worries,
on,
my
but it's
friend.
good to be
No
back.
worries.
A little bit of
Glad to have
normality.
you.
All good. It's all good. We have the King of the.
I want to be the Duke of the ocean because we live on the coast, and I am the Coastal Crusader.
Well, I was going to say King of the Dump because your grandfather worked for years at the dump.
Well, he worked 53 years for the city of Rockland. Only 10 of those were at the waste management facility. It's a lot cooler to say my grandfather was in waste management because then people don't want to fuck with me because they think they'll wind up in the mafia. So,
I was going to say, that sounds a wicked mafioso over there. I'm Tony Soprano. I'm in waste management.
Well, it's the coastal mafia.
Yeah, it's not limos and shit. It's lobster boats and grunions.
You don't go eating with the fishes. Sleeping with the fishes here. You go sleeping with lobsters here.
He's the consigliere of the coast. He's the consigliere of the coast.
Oh, I like that.
Right?
There you go.
The consigliere of the coast.
Thank you, my son. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Hey, let me just go on record as saying there's two things that I got to say. One is Habs suck.
Fact.
Oh, we haven't said that in a while.
We haven't said that in a while. So with the start of hockey season coming up, obviously preseason has started. Habs suck. Sharks suck.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the
Sharks suck. Nope. I can't like the Sharks.
Why?
Why not?
Why can't I?
But why?
They're on the
why
West
single
Coast
out
and
the
they're not
Sharks?
in our conference.
Well, I wasn't done.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay.
So basically, any other team other than the Boston Bruins suck.
Let's go Bruins.
Yeah, let's go Bruins. I'll say that. I'm a Bruins fan.
Yeah,
let's
see
go
that
Bruins.
right up. That's an old school Sergei Samsonov jersey. A buddy of mine gave it to me.
Sergei. Well, speaking of the Sharks,
and let's go Lange.
His line mate went to the Sharks. Joe Thornton.
Jumbo Joe. Big
Jumbo
Joe.
Joe. I love Jumbo Joe.
I have a soft spot for the Avalanche too because I was always like a Joe Sakic fan back in the day, but also our friends in Denver that we know. So we got to support the Lange.
Screw the Lange.
Yeah, and Ray Bork as well. So, we got some ties to Colorado over here. So
when we were in Colorado, when we were out there for the wrestling thing a couple months ago, and I was wearing, I wore a Colorado Avalanche Ray Bork jersey into the ring. And you'd be surprised how many people I talked to afterwards who said that Ray Bork wasn't anything until he went to Denver and played on the Avalanche. And I had to test them to make sure that they weren't like mentally deficient or somebody had actually removed their brain. Because there were many people that we met out there that I
compared him
met.
to Babe Ruth. Like Ruth was nothing with the Sox and became great with the Yankees.
They do understand that his 20 plus years was spent in Boston and 1 year was spent in Colorado.
And those are the things that I said to them many, many times. How many Norris trophies did he win here in Boston? How many times was he like the man at the All-Star game in the skills competition? He owned that skills competition for years. Yes, he won his cup in Colorado playing for the Avalanche.
And brought it back to Boston after your parade.
That was so sexy when he did that. He brought that cup back here. That was so great. He was great out there. Don't get me wrong, but he was great anywhere he would.
He was great anywhere.
He went to win a cup. He had he just found the team that he thought was loaded enough, which they were. They had Forsberg.
Well, he got traded to them.
Well, you don't think they said, "Hey Ray, where do you want to go?"
No, they would never do that.
Yeah. Hey Ray, where does your family? Do they like to ski? Can we send them to Denver? We'll get you a nice house in Aspen.
I can imagine, there may have been a list of teams that he would have liked to have gone, but then there was also a list of teams that the Bruins weren't going to trade him to.
Oh, absolutely. Like you would never trade him to anybody. Montreal. You're not going to trade him to
Philadelphia.
You're not trading him in the division.
No, obviously. Get him out of the conference. You put him in the Western Conference. You play him once,
and
maybe
you hopefully
twice a year
to see him in the finals. That was the ultimate thing. We hope to see you in the finals. Because could you imagine that if Ray Bourque had played in the Stanley Cup Finals in Colorado against Boston?
We would have started seeing those half and half jerseys, like we see the Brady with the Bucks.
I hate those. I
hate those jerseys.
There would have been people who would have done that too. They would have half and half the Bruins jersey and an Avalanche jersey.
And that's the other, obviously being New England. And we'll get to Candlepin Bowling
here.
We will
get to bowling.
Eventually, we will. Yes.
We have a couple of things that are New England related. One obviously was Bruins starting. You got the Celtics first preseason game tonight. You've got a absolute pisser of a match tomorrow night. Red Sox, Yankees, one game only. Hide your wives, hide your kids. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I wanted to put good old JR on that one.
I love that, bringing a little bit of the squared circle.
Good old JR is going to be at that game, I believe he said.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a baseball fan, so
it's a look. I said at the beginning of the Red Sox season that they would be lucky to win 80 to 82 games this year. To have them in a playoff chase the entire year, to have them struggle in the entire second half while basically fighting off COVID, because half the team had COVID in the second half of the year.
You know what? It's a good thing they caught it then, because now they don't have to worry about the playoffs.
That's true.
Good point. Good point.
The fact that you have the most hated team in all of sports coming to your house.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd put them on par with the Habs. Yankees Habs.
Yeah, I would. They both suck.
The rivalries are immense. They're two of the greatest rivalries in the history.
Oh, my God. It is.
The Yankees, the Habs, the Lakers. Yeah, they're all right up there.
Yep, they're all right up there. So that's a huge game tomorrow night. It's
going to be something to watch. Something memorable is going to happen.
We're going to harken back to 1978. And yes, I wanted to use the word harken, hence the reason why I used it.
Well, we all have our moments of Red Sox misery. Tim has 78 with Bucky fucking Dent. Marky and I have 2003 with Aaron.
I was 7 years old. Oh no, no! I still trust me.
Right, but you were in your youth, like that was when you thought the Sox were going to do it. Yeah,
yep, I was 7 years old.
They were going to do it. Marky and I were probably, let's see, Marky's about 4 years older than me, so I was. He was probably about 21. I was 16, 17.
2003.
Yeah.
I can remember even further back. I remember 86.
Yep.
I remember.
I was 1.
I cried. Oh my God, did I cry?
The Buckner moment. I remember.
And I will never, ever in the history of evers, and I've said this from the time it happened, I do not blame Bill Buckner for that error.
He had no business being out there with a bad back and blown out knees.
The previous 40 games,
he came out in the 8th.
John McNamara had pulled him in the 7th or 8th inning and put in Dave Stapleton as the defensive replacement for the previous 40 games. But he made the decision to leave Buckner in because he wanted Buckner to be able to celebrate on the field with the team. It's John McNamara's fault that they did that. It's Bob Stanley's fault because Bob Stanley can't throw a palm ball in the strike zone.
And also, didn't we trade Jeff Bagwell for Bob Stanley?
No, Larry Anderson.
Brady Anderson.
Brady Anderson.
Larry
Anderson. We traded Brady Anderson for the reliever. That reliever, I believe.
No. We traded Jeff Bagwell to Houston for Larry Anderson.
We had Schilling at one point too.
Yep, Schilling came up with the Red Sox trade, and then he got traded to the Phillies.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. We'll digress. So
yeah,
big game tomorrow night.
Yes.
Last night, and then this is the last of we'll call it the last of the non-Candlepin related. You had Brady versus Belichick. You had, the Bucks versus the Pats. You had the old guard versus the new, whatever you wanted to call it.
And you had Rob Gronkowski doing what Rob does best and watching Patriots games from the luxury box.
Well, he wasn't even here.
I know he was hurt.
He didn't make the trip.
Well, I heard that he said he had busted ribs or something like that.
Oh, he had come to find out 4 broken ribs, a punctured lung, and something else.
Wouldn't let him fly.
Yeah,
he was getting on the plane, I guess, and the medical staff's like, "No, you'll die."
Yeah,
like your lung will, because if he got up too high, his lung could deflate.
But look, last night's game was honestly everything you really wanted to see. It was entertaining without being a blowout. You had
so many news outlets said it was going to be a blowout. It was so much.
I thought Tom Brady would throw for 700 yards and 8 touchdowns.
I mean, he played well, but you could tell.
Unpopular opinion: Mac Jones outplayed him.
I've heard that for more than a
Mac
few.
Jones, short of 2 really bad plays. One was the interception, and 2 was he almost threw another interception at the end of the game in the red zone.
But he's taking chances, and I'm not even a Patriots fan, but that's what you want a young quarterback to do. You don't want him to be Brett Favre, but
to me, Mac Jones proved himself as a professional quarterback. He is the quarterback of the future. After that game right there, he proved that he could live up to right there. I don't know what I was going to say.
Chingy.
He proved that he could play on the biggest level. And look, he played for Alabama at the national level. I mean,
fuck Alabama.
If
you're playing for him, you can't be some random person. Like, you're playing for a team like Alabama. Yeah. Like, you're a good player.
There have been a number of years in the last few years where Alabama could have beaten the Jets. I'm sorry, Alabama could probably beat the Jets.
Well, I'm gonna stop you. There is no college team that can beat a professional team.
I don't know. I agree, and I've played at that level for a little bit, and you know what I will say? I'll tell you what, it wouldn't be a blowout.
Oh no, I don't think it'd be a blowout, but they wouldn't. Even your worst professional team.
Nick Saban may be able to outcoach him into a win. I don't put it out of that question.
Maybe. But I was obviously disappointed in the loss. I had chalked it up to a loss when the schedule came out. I did.
I think 98% of the people who saw it did.
I did not think they had a chance. It was about halfway through the game where I went like, okay, the weather gods have played a factor. God
was sad that Tom was hurting Bill.
The defensive schemes were, I'm not going to say they were confusing Brady, because I think it takes more than that to confuse a quarterback like Brady or Peyton Manning or something like that.
I agree.
Real quick, I wonder if there was a point when Tom is looking over the defense and he sees something coming. He's like, "You son of a bitch, Bill." Like, he knows, like, shit, I hate that blitz, and he knows that.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me, but it was, I'm torn on the last play, the field goal. I understand the field goal. He had made a 58-yarder in practice in the same direction in the rain. So they knew he had the leg. 4th and 3. I get it. Well,
besides the game, I understand that, but you think Bill cares? They're not going to fire Bill.
No. I think either way, he wasn't wrong with either call. If he had gone for it on 4th and 3,
Patriots fans would have been more pissed off if he went for it. Honestly,
probably. But again, I was happy to see, there was a lot of contentious rumors of contention between them, Brady and Belichick, and to hear that Belichick did something he's either A, never done, or B, has rarely done, which is gone into the visitors' locker room at the end of the game. And the reports is he spent like 20 plus minutes, just him and Brady.
They said it was the first time he went in there on a good note.
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool. But again, I'm all Patriots. Tom Brady was my favorite Patriot player of all time. I'll say it. He was, and he is my favorite Patriot player of all time. But he's not a Patriot anymore.
No, he's not.
I cheer for him to do well in Tampa, but ultimately I want the Patriots to win. I am a Patriot fan through and through. Kind of like Brian is a Cowboys fan through and through.
And the Patriots are what? 1-3 this year?
They're 1-3.
Yeah. And the Cowboys are what?
Cowboys are 3-1.
Yeah. All right, we can stop the season right now.
I mean, they won't.
I mean, my season ends in another month, anyways. At Thanksgiving, that's the Super Bowl. That's when I have my big party, and everybody comes over, and we eat food, and we watch the last football game that matters of the season, and then I wait for baseball season.
So anyway, let's.
It ended early last year when Dak broke his ankle.
Let's talk Candlepin Bowling.
We should do that.
It sucks sometimes, but it's fun.
We do that well.
We do.
No, you two guys do the Candlepin Bowling thing.
No.
Well.
We talk.
I try to.
No, we talk.
I bowled like a bag of ass earlier tonight in my league, so we could talk. I bowled like crap, so let's talk really well.
I actually,
tonight.
You know what? I actually didn't bowl bad this week, did I, Tim? After my very, very embarrassing subpar performance at Exeter, I bounced back fairly well this week in leagues.
Well, Wednesday night you did.
Okay. You know the difference between what you score and how you throw the ball. And Thursday night, I bowled 328, but I threw the ball well. And I bowled 364 the night before.
I bowled like a bag of smashed assholes, and Jason beat me by 100 pins.
Well, also, Tim, you were in joggers and you showed up in slippers because I don't know if you could have bent over to put your bowling shoes on.
Well, I'm not making any excuses. On a positive note, I do not have a torn ACL.
That's
a joy.
That's very good.
Well, that is that. I was very, very nervous going into my appointment on Friday that I had was looking at 6 months of recovery from an ACL surgery, but I do not have a torn ACL.
And bowling the Nationals with a torn ACL, because that sounds like a load of fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's all good times. It's all fun.
The only more fun would be if it was on synthetic approaches.
So
I'd be staying home.
Let's talk ICBA for a second. Our favorite subject. We're going to talk the bowling, though, not
the good part,
not the association itself. Which honestly, I really don't have a major problem with the ICBA.
Not really. You know what the problem is, unfortunately? Unless you are a proprietor or unless you were in a committee, that association is non-existent in bowling. I feel I have been in this sport a number of years. I feel like I know what I am talking about when I talk about bowling. I feel I am a student of the game and I understand the history and who's a part of it and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have ever once had an interaction with an ICBA official or an ICBA member other than my bowling proprietor at that time. And I think that's kind of the problem with the association.
Mark,
I don't need to open a can of worms, but that's just my opinion as someone who has 20 plus years of bowling in a competitive level at this point. And I have never once, I think, seen an actual board member of an ICBA at a tournament.
Thoughts, Mackie?
Things are changing.
Again, I know you have to be. I know, Marky. I'm not
shitting on Marky. I'm not. That's not I'm just saying there is a lack of visibility from a non-proprietor bowling standpoint for this association.
Right. And that was something that has been brought up many times to many other people who have been involved and wanted to be involved. Things are changing. I really feel in the next few years, I think we would have already seen a big change right now. But again, going back to what screwed everybody up, COVID changed a lot.
It changed the world, man.
It really did. And including our game that we love so very much. And that gives us gray hair and all that, everything else about this game. I do believe personally, and I wouldn't be a member if I didn't believe this, because Riverwalk is an ICBA member, that coming up in the future, you're going to see things change where bowlers' voices are heard more owners are going to have more say. Things are going to open up, rules are going to change, and things are not, I don't mean to say things are going to get lax, but I do believe that in the next few years, like, officials are getting younger. New ideas are coming to the table, not just summarily being rejected because they're different or because they're a new way of doing something. You're going to see in the next few years. I don't, and I have not been to an ICBA meeting in a long time because, like I said, COVID changed a whole hell of a lot, and it's not as transparent as it would be right now because they're trying to get things together to run into the future once we are open. And there aren't places where, yeah, you have to do this at one place, but you're in a different city, so you have to do something different over here and stuff. When things eventually smooth over, you will see more ICBA involvement, not just the proprietors themselves. I do believe that we're going to see more into the future. I wouldn't put my money into it if I didn't believe it. A long time ago when we first got here, it was like the way you guys were speaking about. It really was. We initially, back in 2013, when we first came in as Riverwalk Lanes after this place was Lafayette, we went to a couple ICBA meetings and I refused to join. I was told to sit down and be quiet. I was told not to talk, that I didn't have any ideas. Even though I ran a center, I was invited as a guest, but I wasn't allowed to speak and say anything. I thought that was really trash. Things have changed. There's always a changing of the guard. And there's always new people that are coming in with younger minds, fresher ideas. And I do think that we're going to see a paradigm shift within the next couple of years of it. So don't give up on it just yet.
I'm not.
And I have not been paid. I have not been told. I am friends with these guys. I do know a few of them. And I say this from the bottom of my heart, that I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt for the next couple of years.
I can only, and like Brian, I can only speak from a bowling standpoint of someone that's been involved at what I would like to say is the highest level of the game.
Correct.
Yeah. For, going on 30 years. A lot has changed in 30 years. And that's not just, that's in general. It's a generalized statement that a lot has changed. My issue that I have with the ICBA is purely selfish. 100% purely selfish. I wanted to bowl this weekend in the ICBA championship, singles championship.
Yep.
I'm upset that they didn't have the foresight to say, hey, we only have 12 bowlers? How about we call each bowler or email each bowler and say, hey, here's 3 dates.
What works for you?
What works? Instead, I got an email in August that said, hey, we're bowling on this day. I need your shirts on. It was congratulations, you're in, whatever. We're bowling on this day. I need your shirt size. I need your high single, high triple, high, all of that stuff. Okay. How about checking with me first to see if I can bowl that day? I had tickets to Chris Stapleton that I've had for 10 months that we paid $200+ a ticket for.
Right.
As a Christmas present.
I can understand that.
I'm not sacrificing a trip with my wife to bowl a 5-string match at Big 20 to try to become the ICBA. So for me, it's purely selfish.
Yes.
I would have liked to have bowled. There is no reason that I can see why they couldn't have done it a weekend prior or a weekend later or whatever. None that I can see.
My only issue is I just want to see more of them supporting the game. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the last time I saw one of them at the Worlds. I can't. And here's my other thing. I want some uniformness. If we're bowling under their regulations, I don't want my buddies in Mass and New Hampshire to be able to bowl with whoever the hell they want in state tournaments, and I am relegated to bowl with the people who bowl in my center in Maine.
Well, that's not an ICBA thing. That's a.
But if we're bowling,
yes,
okay,
it is because
if
the
we're
organizations.
Bowling, yeah, thank you. We're bowling under their guidelines, their rules, and we're bowling for a chance to bowl in their championship, and they govern the rules committee. It should be the same opportunity for everybody. I'm not saying I should be able to bowl with anybody who is an ICBA member, but anybody who is an ICBA state of Maine member, I should be able to bowl in an ICBA sanctioned tournament with them, regardless if they bowl in Augusta, Belfast, Oakland Park, Sanford, Big 20.
Well, that's left up to the state organizations how they run their own state tournaments.
Then
so if your gripe is with that, then your gripe is with the Maine.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was going to say.
The MSCBA.
Okay, then it's piss poor.
That's where that gripe is.
The dear MSCBA.
Yeah,
it is piss poor. I can't bowl with anybody in the only association. Signed, Brian.
Let's just say real quickly. Huge congratulations to Erin Merrill, 586, the winner of the female division for the adult, the ICBA.
Come a long way in a few years. She has done.
By the way, she has a torn rotator cuff that she bowled with. I was talking to her tonight about it. Pretty sure. Well, I shouldn't say it is torn. It's believed to be torn. She has a follow up and all the good stuff, but
they're waiting on a image confirmation.
Yes, she bowled fantastic, 586. Closed it out with a smooth 130 in the last string. Shannon Scribner second place, 553. JoJo 524. Faye Soria 479. Nikki McKeever 459.
That house will eat you up. That's a tough house.
It is. It is, but you can score.
Deceptively difficult.
It is.
You can score there.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing I'll say on the men's side is obviously a huge congratulations to Josh Daly. 697. No one was beating him. No one was.
Number.
I joke about it that he wouldn't have done that if I were there. No, he probably would have gone 700 if I were there because he would have been amped up.
I was going to say
because he likes to beat me.
He couldn't find 3 more pins. How many curtains did you hit for 10 boxes when you had a single up there? Come on, Daly.
At 200 miles an hour.
I'd like to think that
love you, buddy.
I'd like to think that I would have given him a run, but let's face it, no one was beating him.
You would have for 3 games, and then he would have been throwing as harder than he was in the first game while you were like, ow, I hurt.
No, I wouldn't. I don't hurt when I bowl. It's usually right before or after. It's not during, though. Typically, I should say. Tim Douglas, second place, 635. Steve Reno Jr., 632. Mark Carrier, 599. Joe Duda, 568. And Sean Crow, 526.
The cool thing that I saw on Facebook was Stevie Reno Sr. had posted a picture of him in the late 80 ICBA tournament at Bangor, and he's holding Stevie Reno Jr. in the picture.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's really cool that he got to go watch him bowl in the ICBA when he did. It's just cool. I hope to experience that someday with Colin, that I get to bowl in something and then he bowls in something at the same time.
Steve is he's a lover of the game. Senior.
Really
Steve
is.
Senior.
Oh, absolutely.
He really is.
He's done a lot for the game with the old Candlepin for Kids show and stuff like that.
So again, I am obviously I'm ultra proud of Erin, specifically just because she and I have bowled together for a long time in a lot of tournaments. She's a friend. Well, they're all my friends, but I mean, I'm ultra proud of her for bowling the way she did. She's my teammate. And like I said, I bowled with her in the
bowled with her in a state tournament. Me and you at our home house in Oakland.
Yep. So very happy to see that. And again, Daly, dude's 21 years old. He's ripping it. I mean, he's just, as long as he can stay healthy, I think he's got a really, really good shot at doing a lot of good things.
I agree.
I'm not going to fill his head full of things like some people in this world that you read online seem to like to compare him to certain bowlers and
just keep doing what you're doing, Josh.
He's on his way to deserving a lot of that right now. nobody hotter.
I would not compare him to anyone. He is the next Josh Daly. He isn't the next Peter Flynn. He's not the next Tommy Olsa. He's the next Josh Daly. And
just keep hitting the headpin, bud.
Object.
That's all you got to do.
On the full rack. He throws it hard enough that he can hit the quarter pin and get a good break.
He won't forever.
I know. But nope, congratulations everyone. Great bowling this weekend.
Yes.
I would have loved to have seen it. I'm sure I would have thrown a few overhand, probably because it is Big 20.
Haven't you been thrown out of enough bowling alleys for doing that?
I have never been thrown out of a well, wait. No. Wait.
I got politely asked to take a week off once.
I never got thrown out of a bowling alley. I did get a couple of letters from the Maine State Association, a couple of warnings in my ute when I was a ute.
Utes.
So again, great job, guys. Let's see. We've got some upcoming tournaments. That's always fun. What are we? We are October
4th.
October 4th.
Today as we record this.
Yeah, next week is Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes.
There's your fact of the night.
Columbus Day.
I like the fact I love the fact that we used to celebrate a dude that never actually found America.
True.
That's not my issue with him. My issue is that he systematically slaughtered an entire race of Native people.
Yeah.
Down in Florida, but
no, it wasn't Florida because he never found the United States.
Oh, that's true. It was the Caribbean.
No, he never did. He was in the Caribbean.
He never made it. So, hey, let's celebrate Columbus for something. Anyway, we have the huge money match this weekend. Baker and McKinley versus Fuller and Winchell at Exeter Lanes. I believe that is Saturday night, I think
it's Saturday, yep.
7 p.m. I believe Bob Lee will be there. Dude is killing it.
One would think. Yeah.
He is single-handedly keeping people interested in this game. I'll give him a ton of credit. He is trying to film anything and everything he can find. It's great. I love it.
Absolutely. You know what it is? And now we're finding out why this is so important. How many of the TV show matches do we really have left that we can watch? I mean, there's a lot on YouTube, but how many are gone forever?
A lot.
Yeah. So, with people like Bob, they're going to be around and in good production for a long time.
Yeah. Maine State doubles are this weekend in Augusta, I believe. I think. Yes. I don't know.
Are you bowling, Tim?
Nope.
I'm not either. No. Nope.
I'm not. I don't think I'll bowl any of the Maine State tournaments this year. I'm going to bowl the New Hampshire tournaments.
Yeah.
First time ever.
There's only one. It's just
dates. Yeah. No, I know. That's kind of what I was thinking too, is I'm going to do that because, it's I have the once a month at Exeter, and then now we got at least once a month for a state tournament for Maine, and it's like, okay, well, my weekends, starting to stack up. The wife isn't exactly enthused about all the traveling and everything, and she works full time. She likes to see me occasionally. I don't know why.
No one knows why. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
Oh God.
Oops. We got the taping for the Candlepins for Cancer show on Sunday, the 10th.
So we got a big money match Saturday, and then
the taping on Sunday.
Taping Sunday.
Taping is at spare time, maybe.
Mr. Fuller told us in a message, so let me see if I can find that.
I just forgot. I forgot where it was. So that is that's.
It might have been over Snapchat, so we might have lost it.
Yeah, might have been. Marky, you got something this weekend, don't you?
Every Sunday morning, we do King of the River here. It's 100% handicap tournament. It's a step ladder type format. Bowl 4 strings, qualify, make the knockout round. You defeat your opponents. You beat the king from last week, and you walk out with the belt and all the money and a picture on Instagram and Facebook. But no, it's a really good time. Is a lot of ball busting, a lot of joking around, a lot of good bowling. But yeah, come on down. Everybody's average is scaled up to 140, so everybody has an equal shot. Even if your average is 120, you're still getting pins. Right now, Lane Britton has been the king for 3 weeks running, and he's just been killing it. He's been bowling well, coming in bowling in that king spot. If you're the king from last week, you don't have to qualify. You don't have to bowl any of that. You just come in and bowl the person that's already bowled 6 games, and you only have to bowl 2 to win and come back next week. You win 5 matches in a row. If you're the king 5 weeks in a row, you automatically punch your ticket to the King of Kings tournament in the first weekend in June every year, where we take the top 16 point getters every from the rest of the whole year. You accrue points as you bowl based on how well you do. If you make the cuts, how many wins you get, you accrue points at the end of the season. It's very similar to the Pro Series, where how well you do in qualifying and knocking out and stuff like that, that you get points. At the end of the season, you come back for a top 16 money tournament. Everybody gets an envelope just for walking in the door. And if you win, if you are the King of Kings or the Queen of Queens, you get to take the belt home. And it's yours forever, and I buy another one. So hopefully I win this year, so I don't have to buy another one.
Tim, we might have to go down and get a belt.
I want a belt.
We might have to go belt hunting.
It's a cool belt. Lane brings it to bowling every single time. He told me
that is pretty. That is.
I would
cool
bring it to league.
He's brought it to work. He brings it to his leagues. Even the other Friday night, he came up just to watch our pro league match, and he had the belt on his shoulder.
I hope he had no show with that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I loved every bit of it because that's exactly what I wanted to see happen, man.
So you guys had a good Friday night.
We did.
Took 8.
Yep, we're Riverwalk, my team. We're in first place. Yep. We're 8 points up on the Woburn team with Jeff Surratt, Dave Barber, and Sean Baker, Boudreaux. And we're doing very well so far. So far, good start.
Huh? Yeah, they're basically it's Lucky Strike.
It is the old Lucky Strike team,
is.
Yeah, but
hey,
one quick second. Big shout out to Jason Kaler. On I believe it was Thursday night. He had a 155, a 150, and a 154 for a 459.
Wow!
So fantastic. Very consistent and good bowling.
350s.
Yeah, when I said he beat me by 100, I was pretty serious because I think I was like 350.
Yeah, and he was just consistent all night.
Which is funny because even Brian, at one point I turned around and I was like, Jesus, am I throwing like a 2-pound, 2-ounce ball or something? I mean, the shit that I was leaving, and all of a sudden he gets up because we're bowling the same team, and because it's pretty fair in this league to have Brian and I and Jason and Eric then all on the same team. But we spotted 91 pins of string the other night. Yeah.
What?
And we took 8. Yeah,
we took 8.
Oh, and you still took 8. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness, my God, that's a whole nother boulder for God's sake.
Our average is 95% of 130.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is Jason was on fire, and a couple of weeks in a row, and he's a good bowler.
I just don't understand how he is so good, and people don't realize it because he averages that. And he is the only one that works at the bowling alley on league nights. He runs the register. He runs open bowling. He runs the bar. He runs the breakdowns. He runs the back, everything.
I cannot express to you how hard that is because I did that here during leagues. I can't even tell you.
When we bowled a couple of years ago and we were bowling against each other, and it was the night that I went 440 and he went 512.
Yeah.
He beat me by 70 pins, and he was like, honestly, he goes, I love the fact that I was working because I'd bowl my 5 boxes and then I'd go work and I wouldn't think about anything until it was my turn to bowl again. He goes, I never had an opportunity. I didn't even know I had an opportunity at 500 until he got done his first half of the third string, and people kept coming up to him and telling him. And he was like, that's when I started to worry. That's when I started to kind of freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so bad because he'd already thrown 500.
Who?
Jason has 2, I believe.
I don't think so. I think he only has 1.
I thought he had 2.
I don't think so. I think he's only got 1.
You have 3, right?
I have 2.
Oh, I thought you had 3.
I have 3.
Mark has 3.
I have 3.
I witnessed one of Tim's
because he bowls in a fast house.
When?
Metro. You can't tell me that.
That night, listen. All right,
look,
all right.
500 is 500. I don't care where you're bowling it.
I can't tell you how many people, after I threw 519 that night, I cannot tell you how many people looked at me and were like, yeah, but if it was anywhere but Metro. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but guess what? It was at Metro. Why didn't you throw? And my answer is, why didn't you throw 500 at Metro?
Yeah.
If you're going to give me shit about the time
I don't care where you are. A 500 series for 3 strings, I don't care how fast of a house you're at, is damn difficult. Doesn't matter.
I think anything over 450 at any house is incredible.
I have 3 500s, and each one was in a different state. One was at Hobbs, Lucky Lane's now Stars and Strikes up in Maine.
Oh, but you actually didn't beat my record there, though.
No. I took your house single record at Augusta, though. That was pretty sexy.
Yeah, but that wasn't even a 200, so
it is now.
But mine was.
I know, so but mine wasn't. So,
but I did it right, though.
I know. Trust me, I went spare 2 in the 10th box for that 198.
Well, I didn't.
I know.
I went spare 8 in the last box to get.
He went area code.
I was 199 plus a ball. Trust me, I've never been more nervous to pitch one off my foot and have it go straight into the gutter in my life. The ball left my hand the minute I saw it was on the lane. It was going. I turned around and I just went like this. I didn't give a crap how many pins it
was. That your first 200?
No. Okay. That was my second or third.
How many do you have?
I have 3 200s and 3 500s.
Okay. All right. Well, at least I got you in something.
You do.
I have a 188 and a 473.
Dude, for the longest time, I was stuck on 471. For the longest time, I was stuck on 471 until
I bowled the 473. It was 463, and I got beat that night.
What?
Yes. What? I got beat by Jason, who was bowling me. Jason Kaler went 475. So we were 475, 463 in the match.
Imagine doing that on like TV, like some old Channel 5 or something like that. 463, you normally win a match by 60 to 100.
Yeah.
Nope, sorry, kid. Take an L, 13 pins. Go home.
We took all 8 points, though.
Holbrook's the other one that I could think of that has 3 500s in 3 different states.
And no 200.
And no 200.
He does not have a 200. He has 1 or 2 199s.
I think he has 2. I think. I don't know. We
I bet. You know what? If he ever throws a 200, he might just be like, you know what, guys, I'm done. He's gonna be like Forrest Gump when he just stops running. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home.
I don't know. People ask me what was harder, and obviously throwing a 500 is harder than a 200. Obviously.
I disagree with you totally. I completely disagree with you. Like a 1 ball difference in a 200 string is a 180 string. 1 ball. If it's not a triple or a 4-bag, or if that's a half Worcester, if that's a spread eagle, if it's a 2-in-1, you don't throw 200. You get a lot of other chances to make up some spots.
Think about this though.
Okay.
How many people have thrown a 200 string that have never thrown a 500 series? A lot. It is. We see it every year.
True.
There's a handful of 200 strings every year. How many 500 series are there every year?
The way I kind of look at it is I take the best of the best.
One every 5 to 10 years you hear about somebody throwing.
So that's, to me, that's why 500 it's harder, because you have to, it's not like, and I'm going to say this, and this is going to come out the wrong way, and I hope people don't take it the wrong way, because it's not how I'm picturing it.
And this is where Tim's a dick.
No, when I say anyone can throw a 200, I don't mean that it's easy to throw. I just mean that it's easier to have.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's easier to have a bigger string and get lucky over the course of a string than it is to have a big series and get lucky over the course of 3 strings. Okay.
This is my justification real quick. How many 200s do we see at the Worlds? How many how many 500s have we seen at the Worlds ever?
2. that I know of.
I don't even know if I've ever seen one.
Craig Holbrook and Mark Gregory.
I think that was a little before my time. I don't remember.
It was in Bangor. Mark Gregory's was in 94, 92 or 94. And Holbrook's was in 92 or 94. I can't remember which one.
But yeah, we haven't seen one of those in almost 30 years. I mean, Godwin threw a 200 string in what, 07?
221. Yeah, it was
221.
That was 07. Yep. I was right next to him when it happened. We were right on the dividing line.
Chip Carson and Phil Bernatchez each went 200 on the same day in Bangor.
20 minutes apart.
20 minutes apart. Chip set the state record, and 20 minutes later, Phil broke it. So to me, again, I'm not saying a 200 string is easy, and I hope people understand that I'm not saying it's easy.
No, sure as shit, it is not easy at
all.
But
what I'm saying is you have to have a little luck to bowl a 200. You do. Because how many times, Mark, you've done it 3 times. How many times did you throw it and you may have had the 7-10 and all of a sudden the 7-pin fell or the 10-pin fell? When you were staring at
a game that you're going to be that big, like you're in that zone, that proverbial, just blinder zone where nothing else matters and every ball you throw is hitting the pocket. You're going to get those breaks. You're going to have those carries, that 2-1, this is going to fall, and you got a 2-pinner with a wood in front of it. Any other night of the week, it's a 2-1, and you're not making it more than likely. You're right. You do get those carry, you get that break, you're just unconscious. You're just throwing a different ball than you normally do.
And like when I threw my two 500 series, I did it 2 different ways. The first one, I went 140, 200, 140. 145, 215, 142.
The singles that are in there. Yeah.
So a good string, and again, 140 is a good string.
Yeah, absolutely.
A monster string. And then another good string. And the other way was I went 170 something, 160 something, 158, my last string.
Yeah.
So 3 really not quite monster strings, but just, and Brian witnessed that one because that was against his team.
That was exactly how I threw my first 500 too. It was like big 70 in the first game, like 160, and then like huge after that.
Tim should have been bigger because he should have had a triple and he missed a 9-drop.
I did. In the 30th box, I missed a 9-drop. And you can, because it's on YouTube, if you watch those last 5 boxes, I thought I made that 9 the whole way down my body. I was shocked that I missed it. Like my ball slid by it on the right, and I'm like, I still remember it. Like all night long, my ball had broke right to left. So that's what I played. And this one went kind of straight. Like, what the hell just happened? But it's all right. I missed it. It's all good. Anyway, couple of things, folks, besides the fact that the Habs suck. The Chicha singles, is I believe he's still taking signups, as well as the 2 men, 1 woman thing that he's doing on February 19th at Exeter Lanes.
Chicha Rose, the old
Chicha
Rose Between Two Thorns tournament.
Yep. So he's taking signups for that as well. Again, that is at Exeter Lanes on February 19th.
Unlike other Chichas, that is a 1-day event.
Yes, 1 day. And I know Freshie is still taking signups for the NECO New England Knockout singles. We got another one. The Pro Series singles is 2 weeks, and that is is it Whitensville?
Spare Time at Whitensville.
Yep. Spare Time. That's like 932 hours away from us, I think, something like that.
Close.
You'll go down the night before and get Nico's and sleep in a hotel and.
No, I'll crash on someone's couch probably. But
you're still going to get Nico's.
Oh well, yeah. You don't. One doesn't go to Massachusetts and not get Nico's.
What's Nico's? I live in Massachusetts. What the hell is Nico's?
I am flummoxed. I am flummoxed right now because not only do you live in Mass, you live like 5 minutes from there.
Nico's in Salisbury?
Yes.
You like their food?
Oh my God, they had the best roast beef sandwich in the history of Evers.
Look at Marky.
Yes.
You're joking. No. Are you serious?
Oh, Angie and I make trips to there from here.
Just to go there. Just to go there.
Absolutely.
I've always thought to never give anybody any crap for any food that they like to eat that you don't.
I'm guessing you don't like Nico's.
I do not.
Really?
And the bowling alley, I could.
So you're wrong then.
The place. No, you're from Maine. It's different. You're about 5 minutes away from 3 other roast beef shops.
Well,
that are 100 times better than Nico's.
Really?
Oh God, yes. God, yes. My God. How bad is the roast beef up there that Nico's is your favorite?
Nico's is
our delis it's weird because we don't have like a sandwich shop.
We don't have sandwich shops up here.
Like we
there
have
like pizza places that do subs, roast beef.
We do, but they're all in convenience stores. They're in convenience stores. Like we have in our town, there's one South End Grocery. They have a deli and they do pizzas and they have it's like it's a grocery store, but it's like a convenience store too. Like there's no gas.
All the like pizza shops down here, like your whatever House of Pizza or this guy's whatever. All of them are like subs, pizza, roast beef, salads.
Not here in the mid-coast.
We don't have a dedicated place like that. We just have
you have Domino's.
Yeah, but that's
right. That's your dedicated pizza place.
Unless you smoke like 4 joints and then Domino's counts. But
anyway,
Athens is
seriously,
good.
You're the only person in the history of Evers that I've heard of have any negative things to say about Nico's.
I've ordered their food. Now Melissa they have a steak tip salad that she really loves. It says that it's better than most, but when she's here and she'll order Nico's for dinner, I won't get anything. I'll order there's another little sub shop over here called Gio's Roast Beef, and they have one of the best roast beefs that I've ever had from a place not called Bill and Bob's. It's amazingly
How about Kelly's roast beef? Are they good?
Kelly's is different.
That's on Route 1, right?
Yes. Kelly's is literally the best roast beef sandwich on the planet, but their rolls are a little different than other places. So you either really like it or you take the roast beef off the bun.
See, I've heard that their barbecue is the same thing that Nico's uses.
I highly doubt that.
Really?
I highly doubt that. I mean, it's possible, but I really don't think so. Like I have driven to Kelly's from Amesbury, made the half-hour ride down to like Linfield just to go get it. Because you could go down to Revere Beach and go to the original one, but they put a second location up on Route 1, and their roast beef is just the same. Some places make like a second place, and its food isn't always as good. No, the one on the Kelly's roast beef on Route 1 is absolutely just as good. Same food, same everything. And it is by far the best roast beef.
This is going to sound horrible, but if I'm going there, I'm just driving the extra 5 minutes and going to Hooters.
Actually, you hit Hooters first.
Oh, okay. Well,
then never mind. Hooters first, and then Linfield is probably another 10 minutes down the road a little bit.
No, Angie and I just had Nico's this weekend.
Well, Kelly and I usually stay at the Holiday Inn that's right there, the Express, and because we catch the bus thing to the airport. So yeah.
So I hate to put the time out on this, but we are way over where we were going to be for tonight.
We got talking about food, and I'm a fat kid.
I know. So hold the line. We're going to end the show, but then we're going to talk food a little bit. So
yeah, we got to keep this going because
I'm hungry.
Yeah. So, folks, as usual, we need your questions, we need your comments, we need your concerns. You can send them over to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. Now that Facebook is back up and running and the world started turning again,
a bunch of people in their 20s can finally breathe and relax.
They can finally tell us all about CrossFit and their dinner.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Brian, where else can they see us and hear us?
Well, Tim, they can listen to this wonderful Canadian free podcast on Anchor, Breaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to your podcast mediums.
This has been one of the more smoother ones that we've done in a long time. So, Calvin, thanks, bud. Thanks for taking the night off.
Do you guys wait? Do you guys hear that? That's right. You don't. Calvin's not here.
Right. No.
Oh my God.
God, he's gonna break our balls next week, but I
yes,
can't
he
wait.
is.
That'd be fine.
All right, folks, have a great week. We will see you next week.